they have solutions.
Yes. I also feel like there's a moment where this... I guess Naga fixes that for you, but like TP, there's never a moment when you're fully out, even against someone like Naga. I'd say against PL it's a bit different, because PL is just such a hard counter in the late game to TB, but Naga does not have the mobility.
Yep.
So TB can deal with Naga somewhat in the late game.
Yeah.
You're never fully out, and that's important.
And Naga also, even though she's amazing early, right, because of how strong the illusions are early, later you just want more illusions, right? And that's where PL is going to be the better hero there in that matchup.
Yeah, because PL can just like throw illusions at the supports and kill them, right? Whereas Naga, the illusions have to walk towards the supports. And, you know, unless Enigma goes AFK, I don't think he's going to get caught by a walking illusion.
Nope, likely not, likely not. Just taking a look at starting.
You know,
oh, go ahead.
If you allowed Enigma to idle on the illusions, that would be the ultimate. Like just an illusion check.
Oh, I see what you mean. To Eidolon the illusion. Sorry, I know, like, obviously these are called Eidolons, the boys, but I thought you meant idle on as in IDLE space on.
Oh.
I went, what?
Yeah, English is a complicated. It's a difficult language. I'm sorry I mentioned that.
Yeah, that's quite funny. Which is kind of funny is actually you want to Eidolon the Eidolons onto these illusions, right?
Indeed, I wish I could add to that, but there's nothing that sounds similar to this. I'm sorry.
At the horn, though, no one's really going to be fighting. Should be 2 runes apiece. And it is going to be Chessie here finding his laning matchup that he desires, or he would like to lane versus the DK. It's just simply a much easier lane for him. So a bit of a cheeky lane swap. We'll see here if they end up deciding to change things up even more. And it seems like they are.
It's not even about... Yeah, they are. It's not even like an easy lane for Chessie. It's just miserable for shipping. And that's what they're looking for, right? Because Dota is not a game about, you know, making you look good. Dota is about a game about making other people miserable. And that's what Chessie's looking for by playing Viper.
That's why we have denies League players.
That's true, actually. And Chessie as well. He used to be a Viper. He used to be a mid laner, in case you guys don't know, and he used to be a Viper player himself. Him and Limp were like the 2 Viper guys from Sweden that just came out, making everyone's lives miserable. Limp stayed in that role. Chessie swapped to offlane, where Viper's being played more.
Gives at least Kadara a little bit of solo XP, which is going to go a long way, right? This hero really getting nerfed quite heavily with his level 1 especially, or the early cooldowns on Demonic Conversion for support Enigma. Nevertheless, he's still being picked, so I'm wondering how much more you can really nerf this ability before Enigma just stops being relevant at all. And there's the lane swap once again. Kadara's going to TP, but they cancel it. Tanner able to scurry on through those trees and bushwhack the TP in Enigma.
Good job, Tanner. And yeah, you're right. I think just denies in lane Valve's figure out, or I guess Ice Frog's figure out, are just too strong, right? And it's so difficult to balance them out without making them just. It's the same reason why the Lich ability got removed.
Yeah,
they might make it so you can't idle on your own creeps. I'm not sure. I think that would be a huge nerf, and then reduce the cooldown, obviously.
Yeah, I don't know what they do with this ability.
It's just uninteractive, right? Like you can't do anything against the Enigma when he does that. You just go, all right, I lost the creep.
There's the kill down bottom, even on a J4. This was through meta as well, as Chessie and J4 eventually managed to catch up to him, pardon. And with the battery assault, find the kill easily. Not really a whole lot Ari can do in that scenario, especially because you cannot target concussive shot. It's a little bit random where it'll end up going. Top lane even, they're running down Kadaro as Shad is going to be assisted here by a fantastic bushwhack from J4. There is going to be a kill as well. It'll go towards Tanner. But again, not much Shibe can really do here. This is, once again, strong lane, certainly from EU Rejects, has been the strategy in Game 1. Led them to a victory. Game 2 seems like for now they're on the right track if they want to repeat that success.
Yeah, I mean, they have a really strong lane, so I think this is once again expected. But ITB has good ways to recover. This is when we mentioned the Viper thing. Yes, you make DK's life miserable. It's not like TB has an easy lane against you either, right? That's why they rotate Enigma down bottom. This is very common when you have a carry with a really bad lane. You just kind of try lane to secure some CS for him. TB is a hero that can go jungle, but if you play him in the off lane, it's harder because you take over that jungle once you take over the tier 1 safe lane, right? So it's going to be harder for the TB to recover like you usually do by just going jungle at level 4.
Might be a little bit of a scrap to come. Chessie thought about it here, but this is simply just too big of an Eidolon army, I think. Yeah, he's going to take massive damage from the boys. And these Eidolons get eventually really crazy with all the Eidolon talents. To me, it's very I don't know. I guess it does give Enigma a second play style other than simply just I have to wait and buy BKB Blink Refresher and just be a walking black hole. At least now he's got like the threat of push, but I don't know. With how much they're nerfing Demonic Conversion, it does kind of seem like the hero's in a very finely balanced state where, you know, as soon as that falls off and he's simply just a walking black hole and there are items and heroes you can draft against him, it just seems like we're never going to see him again. I don't know.
I would agree, but I think right now he's
okay.
kind of fine.
Yeah,
the Wraith Pact is the Wraith Pact is also part of the problem, obviously, because you can get such a powerful item on a 5, and he's a good farmer as well in Enigma, or rarity on 5s, right? Great dead laner, good farmer. That's why I also think the Wraith Pact builds become much more popular. As we see the tri-lane versus tri-lane now, right? Oh no, Tanner actually only helping mid. He's not going to go bottom.
Might as well, I think, right, with all these points that Chessie ends up getting.
He was so close.
Camera. Yeah, I mean, I think you just want to give your Viper not solo XP, right, but at least dual lane XP. I think tri-laning with him can be a bit rough, especially if you don't start with a tri-lane and get like a kill or two. Now that the tri-lane's just kind of adjusted here, you want to at least give him experience. He might end up even going... Not yet. He has not spec'd into Nether Toxin, so not really expecting to have to recover and farm, as J4 is almost certainly dead here. They maintain vision as well with the Reflection Illusion. They need one more auto attack, and the Cogs actually are going to save him. And now Tanner TP's on over. They're going to turn this on its head with Kadaro ending up falling. J4 also maybe looking to go back on in. He's got the battery salts at the ready. Odeker's still quite strong, though, level 2 Metamorphosis, but he's sticking around and really giving it a thought. And they probably would have gone there had Tanner connected on the Bushwhack, but seems like it's not going to be the case here. And just to take a quick note on our top lane, Shad, doing just fine versus Shibe. Not really too difficult to lane here for the Naga.
Or for the DK, right? They both get some farm, so it's kind of fine here. I guess ITB is also a little bit happy. Oh, they're going to fight Arya as well with a Bushwhack down bottom, and Arya is just going to be poisoned to death. Like a many a British monarch. So, goodbye to Ari. And, yeah, I feel like if you're ITB, you don't mind the DK being enabled, even if Naga's getting farm as a result, because the DK will enable your early game with Skywrath, so them getting experience and gold is probably the most important part early. Otherwise, you just have no space maker, right? Puck is okay, but he's not going to get solo kills this game. It's a little bit too difficult on heroes like Naga or Viper. Certainly on the Zeus, though.
Yep, and maybe now even Tanner, who is a relatively easy hero to kill, might end up dropping. Supreme's going to have to commit for this a bit more. One more auto attack necessary, and it's going to be Coil used to commit for the kill. So Supreme's not going to have that tool. They are skirmishing bottom, where J4 is annoying the crap out of Odeker.
You should have seen that. It was actually really funny. The cogs were used, right, with battery salt, and the TB just kept using illusions, just attacking the cogs, like just spamming illusions. Clocker getting rid of them one by one. It was a tough one.
It's a big wave as well, pushing top. So Tanner's actually going to TP on over here rather than go mid and refill the bottle. Just making sure the Naga Siren can resist this push. It is Elder Dragon form, as well as Eidolons and a wagon. Early push. They're going to actually TP the Clockwork over as well, and he's not going to be scouted until he's able to drop these cogs, where he traps Kadaro, forces back Shibe. Kadaro's as good as dead here, so he will fall, but can they actually get Shibe as well?
Yeah, Bushwhack in a second, but Shiba's quite tanky. Maybe more damage. The Bushwhack will hit. There's too many units around, though, and no battery salt anymore. Now we're going to get it in 4 seconds. Cogs don't quite trap Shiba. If they had, he was dead.
Just off the mark there. But the important part is repelling that push, right? Because that was pretty significant. Again, it was Eidolons, it was 3 heroes there, and the wagon. You don't really want to lose this tower too early. That does open up the triangle to be easily ganked. And Naga Siren, you know, it's no longer, you know, the Radiance sleeper Naga Siren, the one that the Korean casters had to suffer right at TI. But she ain't very fast still. So making sure her triangle is secure is going to go a long way towards you securing the game.
I think one of the things that have been fixed a little bit... Oh, bottom, Viper. Chessie is just being gone on. He's been silenced forever. And then the Waning Rift will make sure to finish him off with the Illusory Orb there. So
they're going on Shibe top.
On the top lane, trying to thing. They're going for Shibe. Battery Assault this time is available. The creeps are outside of the cogs. J4 is willing to die for this, and he will. But thanks to the help of ads in the mid lane, they managed to get off Shibe. Shad now can push his tower solo.
Yep, yeah, he can. And that's exactly what they wanted there. Bottom lane, Odeker, he's already natural. I mean, both carries, right, because they do kind of do the little lane swap. They're already in the lanes that they want to start pushing in. So that is to their advantage. DK much rather, he's really the one displaced by this, right? You're not expecting the Viper to get his tower, but you are kind of expecting the DK to at least make a push somewhere and threaten. Tanner, in the meantime, in trouble, as ITB very keen to take over control and at least set up some vision in the jungle of EU Rejects. J4 in the vicinity, though, with his own sentries and a point in the rocket flare. As Kadaro simply going to deny his own ward. Tanner now closing the gap. Supreme is here and has the coils. Going to use it for both supports. That's going to put Tanner in a bit of a rough spot, as unfortunately for J4 he will perish in his own cogs. That's 4 heroes here rotating on over for that to ensure the kill.
No, but it's good for ITB because they want to just make some space wherever and kill the supports, who are definitely both really good rotational supports, right? Allows or stops EU Rejects' aggression in the early game. You haven't taken the tower top either because Naga's not the best pusher in the world. I mean, she has illusions, but that's it. And Viper can't do much but deep push this lane. And there's no Nether Toxin yet.
Yeah,
so this even this task is kind of hard.
Yeah, curious. He really went for this max poison attack build. I suppose he's going to be playing.
I think it's fine.
I agree. I guess to me it indicates Chessie is expecting to be skirmishing with his early supports, which are great at fighting, right? Early on, as he finds Kadaro. Kadaro with no black hole has a lot of Eidolons though, but is not going to be doing anything really but running from Chessie. And in fact, he's going to live. Eidolons here now really starting to stack up the damage as Chessie finds himself a bit trapped here. Is he going to go to Eidolons?
No, he doesn't die to Eidolons. There's the Bushwhack here to save him. They have a couple of area, stuns. If only he had some sort of area damage spell.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of the issue, right? And again, it does make him a monster fighter.
Mid lane.
Yep, there's an ulti ready for Thundergod's Wrath. Supreme could be in for a spot of trouble. Coil breaks, and in fact, they're going to turn. It's going to be Ads who falls.
I think you said Coil breaks as if that was a surprise to you. Like, Ads didn't just like walk out of it, knowing exactly. He tested the limits of the coil. I was like, you know what? I think this one breaks fine. And he just walked right out of it and died. I think he was dead no matter what, so it's just a funny play.
Likely, yes. Yeah.
It's a Zeus, right? You get caught. I know they gave him mobility, and everyone's complaining about the fact that, oh, now every hero has mobility. Zeus is still pretty much cannon fodder. Heavenly jump or not.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
And the fact they have to be walking as well makes it harder to play Heavenly Jump as well. Because you have to be like walking in a certain direction for the Heavenly Jump to actually move you. So these plays become harder. It's unlike, say, a leap where you just stand at the edge of coil and wait for it to end and then just leap at the last second. Yeah. Heavenly Jump requires an extra like microsecond of commands.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a fair point. We've seen a couple of pros that have tested the waters, even with a mid lane Zeus, let alone support Zeus, kind of messed that up. So it is something to keep in mind. It happens. It's not free, like you say. It's not quite leap. A lot of heroes top lane right now from EU Rejects as they look to protect the Naga Siren as she farms a bit in the triangle. The tower is going to go though. Viper only able to deny it. Can't do much against the wagon here. As Shibe, although he doesn't get the kill credit, does eventually manage to take down the tower. So it's not the first tower that usually goes down in the match, but the Radiant's offlane tower is the first to go.
Ooh. They missed the hook shot, which means the skill on Supreme. Probably not going to happen. Dreamcall, though. Zeus just wants to prevent that potential Mystic Flare. Ads could be in trouble here, though, as he walked forward, hoping to get cover from Roche. He's not going to find it. Ads is dead once again. He went for a full farming build as well, which the fact that he's not really farmed is not good.
Yeah.
Because he's not meant for fighting with that lightning bolt. Instead, went for full arc lightning and heavily jump. Allows him to go between camps faster, but he just doesn't have any space to farm because they can now take over the triangle, as you were mentioning earlier, because of this top tier one.
Yeah, especially with DD Rune here, this is a very, if not free, yeah, it is free actually. There's already the Witchblade ready for Supreme, so that's immense amount of damage right now for the puck with this DD Rune. Easy kill into probably one of the squishiest heroes in the entire game, outside of Maiden, I would say. And this could be the tower early.
Jesse got killed with the Dragon Tail and Mystic Flare combo as well up top. And now they're going for Clockwork as well. Supreme. Witchblade damage is taking J4 down, but it's finally down.
Oh, he's not gonna...
And J4 will live.
Oh, it didn't have the cooldowns part. I thought he had Waning Rift. He did not.
You know what saved him was the cloak. Casual cloak on J4.
That's a great item early on. This is a free resistance.
Especially for like a 5 like Clockwork who has a lot of HP naturally, right? Yeah. Really good strength gain, good base HP. But mid will fall. Mid will fall no matter what.
And you know what? I was considering why not the 4-staff, and it's just not that good of a 4-staff game against a puck with coil, right? So like it is good versus Skywrath. It's useful at kiting around a TB for sure. But ultimately against coil, it's just never an item that feels amazing. So I actually think this is probably the next best, or the best thing he can build considering the game he's in. Nice little tanky clockwork, and he can now farm it, right? 3 points in this battery assault means he can take camps easily, or fight the wave. He will smoke up alongside Tanner.
I think deep push, right? And you might need to do that because you're in a difficult position.
And ITB, they don't quite have eyes on the Naga. Now they do. Shibe with the Blink Dagger at the ready will find his mark. Ari a bit further behind, but it will be here in time to drop the Mystic Flare, and that's a relatively easy kill, only in exchange for the Enigma, which is what J4 and Tanner are able to string together on the opposite side of the map.
Really well played. You know, they enabled the DK early. They knew they were doing that. And now that he has an early Blink Dagger, they can get kills all over the map with Scarlet Mage. This is your best kill combo. Puck, yeah, sure, he can be involved if he feels like, you know, he has a little bit of FOMO, wants to be part of his kills. But the reality is you only need the DK on the floor. And that also opens up the map so much. Because only 2 heroes are missing, and all of EU rejects has to now back out. Because they're afraid of being caught.
Really good point. Really good point. And Chessie just isn't able, because it's a Viper, he can't have really the same amount of impact, and because they're not really fighting or like going for these solo pick-off, they're not really pick-offs on a Viper, but like just the run people down kind of playstyle with max poison attack Viper. He didn't really spec into Nether Toxin early, which means, one, he's not going to be able to really present too much of a threat to the DK because he simply didn't have Nether Toxin and the break available earlier. And two, because this skill build is more ideal for fighting, he didn't farm as fast as he normally would have. So this BKB as well is not going to be the fastest it could have been had he put more points into the Nether Toxin early. Such is the state of the game.
That's true.
Not too bad. Really, all this means is, as a result, he's not bringing pressure to the TB, right? And that's really, I think, the issue. That it's not gonna. We're not gonna see this pay off soon. But over the long run, this space for Otakar is gonna be huge for ITB.
I agree, because if TB can just tank up before they can take any big fights, all this magic damage we mentioned earlier is not going to be important.
In fact, they might turn out to Chessie.
Chessie, yeah, he was like, oh, he can kill TB, but Chessie, oh no, Green Dragon versus Green Dragon. But one has the Mystic Flare, the other one does not have anything like that. So unfortunately, Chessie will be killed off. We do have a Sharpshooter being thrown onto the Scarlet Mage, and he'll be an easy kill, given to Ads as well for a little bit of recover here. That's Kitara's next target. Look at Ads playing this
Black Hole
aggressively, but
cancel.
there's a Black Hole. They know about this, and Kitara wasted just as he dies. However, thanks to a Dream Coil, they are capable of finishing off Ads. J4 being harassed now by Shibe, who has Dragon Tail in 2 seconds, but Shad wants to kick him away. In fact, there's a rotation from Tanner. Still coming by.
Oh,
there's a song of the Siren that's going to give Tanner enough time to come by here. But it's immediately canceled for an ensnare. The Bushwhack hits, and that should be a dead Dragon Knight. A lot of commitment, though, with the song.
Yeah. I'm not sure how much that matters.
Just ensnared.
I agree, right? First of all, I agree, but I'm not sure how much that matters, to be honest. I guess maybe just, you know, previewing a little bit of her single, right, of what's to come. But yeah,
well, it's a good tool when you're farming dangerous farm, right? And you just want to leave, like Song TP.
Yeah, that's fair. But with Coil and Black Hole both on cooldown, I don't think you're really too concerned about it in the immediate future. I don't know.
I mean, how I see it is there was a reason for that song that I'm clearly not seeing. Like, he thought that the DK probably had Blink, and that was what he was calculating.
Okay.
Like, he thought
the
Blink was off cooldown.
That's true. Yeah, that's very true.
That's what I'm presuming. There's no way you use that for nothing.
I mean,
right?
hey, it's secured in the kill, right? At the end of the day, it's secured in the kill.
Yes.
Now Supreme is looking for a little bit of revenge. Blink Dagger, Coil, and Witchblade all at the ready, heading into the Kaya next. Tanner in a good position here to tank, though, for the Naga Siren. Chessie as well, even though he does die towards the start of that engagement, gets a little bit more net worth because, of course, of the assists you naturally get thanks to your corrosive skin. But still, it's ITB who are playing incredibly aggressively for now, as J4 will die for the D ward. Will he get it off as he is stunned? Coil as well onto 2. The DK broken in a bit of a rough spot. Will drop. J4 keeping himself alive, in fact, harassing as well onto the Skywrath Mage, but it's Otakar who is tearing apart the squishy heroes. Everyone here on the side of EU Rejects just dying, as Otakar gets 2 kills early on, simply rotating from where he was farming. And yeah, Shad, I suppose not having Song couldn't really do anything about that there. He's farming on the other side of the map.
I mean, it's the right play anyway.
Agreed.
Right now, you kind of have to create space for your Naga. And ITB they have your number. They can kill you anywhere, and as long as you're dying away from your carry, it's probably the best play for your rejects. I'm not too sad. That doesn't mean they're going to win the game eventually. I don't know, because TB is still a threat, but it's probably the best play you can do right now, where the Dragon Tail plus Mystic Flare is just strong combo, right? Anything dies. And Ads will be sacrificed as a result. However, I like his build. I actually saw this from Analog as well in a game, I forgot, when he was with Hokori last season, where you go for Kaya and Sanj first on the current Zeus, and you actually don't go for the Ags that early. You also go for the shard as well as the aesthetic field. And the whole idea is that people are already going to jump you anyway, so you tank as much as possible, and you deal damage in the process, as opposed to being this caster that destroys everyone. And you actually are just looking to survive as long as possible, because the enemy team has a puck anyway and a DK with a blink. You're not going to be able to just outrun them, right? So it's about gaining time for your team instead.
Yeah, that ain't a bad idea. That ain't a bad idea in principle. I think ITB, ooh, nice dodge there on the hook shot. ITB, they've got the percentage-based damage, so, you know, I mean, it's not like Zeus is going to tank up that much and build a heart, you know, don't get me wrong, but he won't be too disappointed by his tankiness, as there is a fight breaking out as well in the river. It's simply just to pick off onto Kadaro. Supreme still with decent damage onto the clock, but he's tanky enough thanks to this Hood of Defiance. However, now the counter initiation, a great bushwhack is going to catch Supreme, but the damage is there regardless. Supreme even getting the kill credit there, so it's a 1-for-1. Offlaner for 5.
Yeah, not the best trade, but once again, if Naga's using this time to farm, is what you're just playing around her timings right now. You're waiting for that heart to come online, and then once you get that, and perhaps the Orchid or Ags, she's looking for Orchid. Usually Naga go for this one cash item. Envy used to do the Scythe of Ice. Nowadays the Ags or the Orchid are more popular. And then I think they're going to fight. It's that or they fight around ads Kai and Sanj.
Okay, that could seem viable. BKB as well for Chessie soon, which is going to help him tank up a little bit more, absorb some more spells in these engagements. But the problem is that the big items as well are coming, and in fact already here, Kadaro showed off the Wraith Pact in that engagement. I'm not sure what Puck is going for next, but the Kaya is going to significantly increase the damage output here. And speaking of damage output, or I suppose really healing negation, Odeker as well is really closing in on this Eye of Scotty. He's nearly got it completed, which is going to be ready for the hard fight, if not before, that Naga Siren is going to have.
Huge.
Yeah, so that's going to feel really...
Because it nullifies hard.
Exactly, that's just going to feel awful for Naga. Especially because, again, you have percentage-based damage, right, on Midnight Pulse. Even though it is only level 1, it's still, there'll be enough damage. They're chasing for kills.
Clock is just tanking a gank here. And he allows both the 4 and the carry to survive, in addition to giving some space to the other 2 cores. Once again, I think ITB are making the right plays, but they're just in the lead, much like last game, right? And this time EU Reject is not giving them what ITB did last game, which is trying to fight them and losing those fights, right? Instead of trying to create space, playing around their timings. It's good. It still will not lead them to the victory, obviously. They have to make a good fight eventually with a Naga timing. And the Scotty and Terrorblade is really scary, but it's the right play for sure.
Yeah. And they forced out a Elder Dragon form there as well. Shiva was expecting a bit of a bigger fight. The threat to Roche is kind of not...
Oh, Chessie almost has BKB too.
Yeah. Yeah, the threat to Roche from ITB is kind of non-existent. They don't really have the damage outside of TB popping meta, and that's a little bit of a risky process.
More smokes.
Yeah. That's risky though, right? Against Naga Song, against Clockwork, against Zeus. I wouldn't really want to fight into that around the pit, outside of maybe winning a team fight and then making a play.
This smoke is fantastic though. This time they might catch Naga, and there's no Clockwork to block the smoke. So Shed could be in trouble. Has no TP actually. Oh, this is a big deal. So he can't Song TP.
Oh,
I don't know what his choice is.
They know where he's at.
Has to Song. Nope. Black Hole caught him. And there, thanks to the Mystic Flare, they're going to be able to burst him down in time. Well played there.
I
really
like
good Black Hole.
Yeah, I really like that Black Hole. Just instantly committing. He knows that if she songs and TP's out, that's so much time and space wasted. Oh, great hookshot dodge. Oh, Supreme as well. Not even all the skill shots. Can't touch him.
They saw his inventory when he was walking by the lane. And that's why they knew he had no TP. Because the right play there, obviously, ideally, would be Song and TP, right? Yeah. Even from the trees. Yeah. But you can't do that because you have no TP, and they knew that, which is why they played that way. So really well played by ITB. Good checking.
That's gonna maybe... Oh, it is already the bottom tier 2 taken. With Eidolon's pushing as well, with a creep wave and a couple of illusions, this is not an insignificant push. So here they go. A little bit of chip damage done. Is gonna force someone back from EU Rejects to deal with this. So the first little bit of high ground damage. This Kaya Sanj is now ready for ads as he makes his way towards the Aether Lens. Only needs the recipe, really. He can disassemble the boots if he needs to, or if he wants to, I guess. And Chessie has BKB ready. They didn't end up using the song on that last fight, so they have it in case they want to go for something here, and they do. Chessie off his BKB is going to lead his supports in for a smoke play. Not really a lot of easy targets showing right now. Ari, I think, might have been scouted there. Supreme's a bit too hard now, especially with haste. And he's going to be the one to break.
That's Wrath. Gives vision for Shibe, and they do have a break. They don't even need the sharpshooter, but they'll use it anyway towards the end. Actually breaks the puck instead. J4 has to die for this, but 5 for 3 is something that they'll take.
Yeah, but now TB's coming. He's ready to fight. He's got Eye Scotty.
TB is coming. Song of the Siren, though, will stop
Heart's
this.
on the way.
Give enough
It's about to be delivered.
Away. Ads is TPing. Jesse as well. It's going to be fine, but not going to be able to get away too is Shad. They're not TP. Shad is being chased here by Supreme, but Shad knew he was fast enough to just get away without wasting that TP. Tanner also stayed behind. He's like, oh, I'll cut one extra lane.
This might be Roche, though. I think that's maybe enough. Chessie did pop his BKB. That's on cooldown now for 90 seconds. 70 now at this stage. There's no hookshot. There's no Song of the Siren. There's no Thunder God's Wrath. And again, like I said, they need TB in the pit with meta active, and here we go. ITB, they're going to be respawning here on their DK momentarily, so he can join this fight. Ads, at least with Aether Lens, can poke and prod from further away, but I just don't think they can really stop this Roche. There is a hookshot ready, and they are threatening now for the life onto the TB. In they go, but it's blocked by Illusions of J4. It's not going to matter. They still get the kill. It goes towards Chessie. Shibe alive, looking for someone to stun here, but he is slowed to a crawl by the Viper Strike, so no Dragon Tail stun at the moment. He's going to turn and maybe look for J4, but no, instead he's going to turn. Needs to be able to defend his puck, as the stun is just for a creep. J4 locking down Kadaro for this entire fight, will eventually be rewarded with the kill as Shad gets the kill onto Shibe. Ads 1v1ing here versus Supreme. Yeah, this might be a little bit of a loss for him, but it could set up for the kill onto Supreme. Ads still alive. Oh, the heavenly jump, not enough to keep him alive there, but it's still going to be a big win for EU Rejects.
Yeah, that was what a story for your Rejects. That's like, you know, so I saw this mate, this puck guy, right? I was fighting me 1v1. I thought, oh, fuck, I fucked up. And here comes Tanner from high school, you know, with a bushwhack and saves me from that. I mean, that was such a good play by Tanner. And the kill on the puck probably wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for the bushwhack, right? Because he could have just retreated right afterwards. He even planned the loser for that specific play. So really, really, really good job by you Rejects. Fantastic poking as well by Chessie in the beginning. That Grove Bow actually might have won the fight, because that extra range to be able to harass TP without overcommitting on Chessie was super impactful. They won without Song. That was just very well played by you Rejects. The spellcasting was a little bit better, and I'd say the positioning there by Otakar to begin the fight was awkward. You kind of want the DK to always be in between. Maybe Nether Toxin stopped them, but yeah, you can see it there, right? Like Otakar was kind of freely being hit, and Shiva was a little bit late to that fight.
Yeah, he was respawning,
which made the fight really awkward for them. Yeah, see, Supreme was planning on just like murdering him here and trying to get away with a blink, but the bushwhack stopped him. And thanks to the Acorn shot, they kept canceling the blink. They even almost saved the Zeus, which is impressive.
Yep. In any case, it's going to be Aegis now on the Naga Siren, and the game, 5k net worth lead, still notable, right? As well as, like you highlighted,
still okay.
J4 doing a fantastic job in that fight, just making sure the Enigma could not change the outcome with a good black hole. No Blink Dagger on him, but, you know, so all Clockwork needs to do is stand near him, and he basically dies. But a fantastic fight, good spell casting, and good focus fire as well from the EU Rejects. Shibe being kited out there through his BKB by the Viper Strike was incredible for Chessie, really. That is, especially because, again, Chessie did not have BKB in that fight. He just spits on him and then kind of runs away, and unfortunately Shibe doesn't do much of anything at all. Fantastic fight there, and now EU Rejects even starting to siege a tier 2 tower themselves.
Shad, he's gonna fight Shiba himself. That's the real one. I don't know if Shiba is aware of this. They're actually gonna kill Shiba.
Yep.
Just with all these long-range ultimates, they managed to bring him down. And that means you don't have a frontliner once again for ITB. J4 is fulfilling that role instead for EU Rejects. I don't think you can take the mid tier 2 though. It's kind of a hard tower to finish off, especially with the puck stream coil still being available.
They're gonna give it a go. I mean, they feel confident, I suppose. 40 seconds till the seal. Pardon me, the DK is back up. There's a little bit of a move, though, by ITB,
there,
as they are on the high ground here, nicely positioned. Shad is going to reveal himself here against the Eidolons, which are being just absolutely demolished here by these Mud Golems, but it's going to ultimately be just an ulti for the two supports here by Supreme. That'll pick up at least one kill, and it'll secure the second as well with a nice jump in by Supreme. So a 3 versus 4 scenario will eventually force the EU Rejects back. Oh, they're going to get a pick off of their own. Ari's going to end up falling.
They got Orchid on Naga.
That's a bit surprising that he dies there. Yeah, because they did have a ward up that was not scouted until just now. So he finds himself a little bit out of position and will fall. But still, 3v4.
Ads came flying in, and that's what kind of surprised them. Also, you don't expect Zeus to be the one that's like leading the charge, but that's what he did. So those two things kind of probably got them the kill there. They're still looking for the tower here, but if they get a DK for free, why not?
No BKB
here. DK. No BKB, which means Shiva is dead a second time.
That's
he didn't buy back for
this. That's the BKB nerfs coming in there. He would have had it if it was
actually.
731C. It's not extra 15 seconds, and it's just coming off cooldown. I mean, I'm not sure if he lives there. He probably does. I don't think they commit that hard. They don't want to dive into like a black hole, but like, I mean, that's BKB, right? That's the new BKB, guys. You got to be a little bit careful on that cooldown. I think it even caught him off guard. That's 3 deaths straight now, basically, for this poor DK.
Also, genuinely, the Grove Bow is doing a lot of work here for the Viper. That extra range is allowing him to poke in a position where Into the Breach can't really punish him by jumping him, but they also don't really know how much the Viper's committing because he's so far away. This has happened twice already, you know, with the DP, with the TB, and now with the DK, where like you're not sure if Viper's initiating and what the intention of the Naga is. And he just jumps at you, and all of a sudden you're screwed because there's too much range on everything.
And if I'm not mistaken, they actually shipped an update, which is going to make Grove Bow slightly stronger in these quick little pickoffs. Grove Bow now, apparently this is not how it worked before. Now Grove Bow applies the debuff before any other damage. So before you wouldn't get all of that bonus damage until this the second hit or something. I'm not sure. Or it calculated all of that initial damage before that amplification. But this is huge. I mean, he doesn't have Grove Bow anymore. But, you know, that does make, I think, a little bit of a difference.
He got Quiver.
Yeah, Quiver is amazing.
Which is the same thing, but better. Yeah. I thought the Hoodwink was going to take the Quiver because I also find it really strong with Hoodwink. But because it amplifies the range of Acorn Shot, actually, the whole spell itself.
That's true. That is very true, actually. Yeah, that's a good point.
But it's fine.
I guess
Chessie's the core.
Yeah, so. Chessie wants it for the damage. It helps him siege the towers a bit. He gets what he wants.
Exactly. Whereas the Acorn Shot is okay for the damage, but it's not, it's not the big whoop. It deals damage anyway. BKB, by the way, just got bought an Enigma, so Kidaro now could get the Black Hole of his lifetime. No Blink Dagger, though, which means it's all up to EU Reject's positioning. If they spread out before Enigma catches them, they could just avoid the Black Hole.
Well, not only that, right? I think all that J4 needs to do is keep his distance, and he can cancel it.
Oh. Otakar? Otakar? Okay, they give vision of him. They decide to go for the easier targets, and it seems to be the DK. There's the Black Hole used by Kidaro. It's only going to be Clockwork and Illusions. Chessie uses the Viper Strike. Their goal is once again to go for Shiva, but Chessie put himself in a difficult position. Otakar got stopped by the Bushwhack there.
They're bailing now.
There's a song to disengage. They have a TP this time for Shad. He'll be able to make it out.
They bailed out from this fight. It seems like they won't be able to catch anyone else. Okay. Yeah. I mean, hey, it's not the flashiest of black holes, right? It's only a position 5 kill, but Aegis was reclaimed as well during the midst of that little scrap, and the damage has been dealt, and you still lived through it. You held your net worth lead to 4K, which is not bad considering your offlaner did kind of die 3 times in a row. So that meant that at the very least, Otakar continues to farm, and now he's got a full BKB to show himself off with. Full 9-second charge, didn't pop it there. Next into the Butterfly. That's always an item that these Illusion heroes hate buying.
He decided for Satanic now.
Oh, has he? He's changed it up. Okay, next into the Satanic. That is a hero.
It's also an item. An item Illusion heroes hate. No, yeah. And you can go for Scotty and Naga to prevent that, so that's actually kind of fine. I like the Satanic, though, because you saw Naga going for Bloodthorn, and she's going for Ags, and you're like, all right, well, that's the solution. Just get a Dispel.
Yeah,
right?
no, good point. Now with a second Dispel, you've got a third even. Pardon.
A third.
Yeah, you've got a lot of leeway to play with there. So that's nice and safe. And a quick note on Tanner not taking the, even though we've moved on, he did build the Aether Lens, right? The Hoodwink builds generally, I find, do include this Aether Lens at some stage, just to help out her measly cast ranges and. Not even that measly, right? Just to give her even more reach against heroes like Pucks, right? So you don't have to frontline and die immediately. So, you know, she didn't really need the cast range too much on Acorn Shot.
Because the cast range of, the projectile of Bushwhack is so slow, if you don't throw it from farther away and you're out of vision, they're going to avoid you,
That's
right?
a good point.
So that's where Aether Lens really comes. Especially here in Sears like Puck. Like, he will always phase shift that unless you do it from out of vision.
And I'm not a Hoodwink spammer, so I cannot confirm this for sure because I just don't have the skills. But I'm not sure if with that increased cast range, you can actually Acorn Shot and then send the Bushwhack after. I remember when they were finally...
Do you mean Bushwhack first?
Yes.
And then Acorn shot it. As the Bushwhack is in the air. Yes. You can do that actually at the edge of the range of both abilities, right? Without the cast range increase.
Ah, okay.
And now with the cast range increase, it's a little bit easier to execute.
Okay, so that is very significant. No wonder all these heroes build this item, and now even a little bit more cast range courtesy of the Psychic Headband for Tanner. So he's got...
I will say it's not very consistent though, because when you do it at the edge of the cast range, you require a little bit of animation canceling. Whereas when you get the Aether Lens, it's much easier to do it because you don't require that.
Oh, fair.
So that's good, because there's a little bit of a... What's the thing called? When like a cast... The backswing.
I got you.
You got to limit.
Man, we have casted way too much together. I immediately knew what you were talking about.
I love you, Richie. I'd love to marry you. That's my take.
Okay. I did not expect that one.
Yeah, we've already lived together, so this is the next step. Anyway.
Shat just TP's in like a madman.
He does. There's a Nimbus used as well.
Coil?
Oh, the coil though for Shad. He started the song and Puck got caught.
He got Odeker.
He did get Odeker. Who's the target?
What's the follow-up?
They seem to want to go for Puck first. Supreme phase shifts this. That sharpshooter's not going to hit him.
But they still have vision.
Thunder God's Wrath to scout him.
All right. Oh, that was awkward, I think.
Yeah, it was very awkward.
I was expecting.
They got surprised by the mayor's proposal and just threw their spell.
Yeah.
They're very flustered.
And now here they go for the honeymoon. ITB looking for more. They're going to smoke up. There's now at least a Scotty on this Viper. Satanic's not yet ready even though for Odeker. So he's saving for the buyback in case he needs it. There's at least a free kill onto Tanner. That one is about as easy as they come. He's got buyback though.
The smoke was good in terms of tempo. Like, this is the right time to smoke, but because they didn't have the right position to smoke because of the nature of the map, right? They couldn't really take advantage of it. And that's kind of what we saw by ITB. They knew if they went there into the enemy high ground like that, they would have just lost the fight. So I appreciate their patience. Sometimes when you know something is quote-unquote the right play to make, you force it more than you should. And I like that ITB did not choose to do that.
There's a big item coming here.
Because that would have been a lost fight.
With this Philly Stone, Enigma's about to get his Blink Dagger online. I think...
That's huge.
Yeah, I think he should... Oh, they're not going to wait. I mean, they can't wait. Roche is up. I'm not sure if they know, but they know that it's certainly in the window. And now they're going to go ahead and scout it with the illusions. EU Rejects, they've already scouted this as well with Naga, so they know that it's up. Blink Dagger.
I think they smoked on the Octarine core on the Puck, but I agree with you that Blink Dagger on Enigma
it's so good. I mean, that'd be such a punishing Blink reveal. They've already managed to catch J4 once with it. He's got Eggs, so he can actually kind of... this is also a big item with the Overclock. He can actually be a really big nuisance here as well. He might be even worth black holing, to be honest, in these fights. That's so much control and so much lockdown gone.
Yeah. And the way he's playing as well, he's just waiting for this Enigma.
Yeah.
Like, he either initiates on the Enigma with Battery Assault, or he chooses to, like, wait in the backlines to cancel.
Blink.
So.
Purchased. It's flying. It's being fetched to him now.
If you black hole around you, though, as Enigma, can't you prevent the clock hooking you? Because I know the stun...
No, I think the stun hits you first if you're the primary target. I think it would... I believe it would stop you if you got stunned along the travel path, right? Is how that works, if you're like the secondary or whatever targets. But if you're the first target, I think it stops you immediately. I believe, because I have seen, for example, Faceless Voids inside Chrono get stunned by the Clockwork, and then Clockwork, hook-shots himself into Chrono and stops moving at the edge of Chrono.
Fair enough. That's a good.
I would imagine it works the same for Enigma. I could be wrong, and I frequently am. There's hookshot number 1 for Supreme. He's going to overclock, and with the setup, they easily have this kill onto Supreme. That could be huge. The rest of ITB immediately into Roche, though. TPs are going to this Tier 2 tower. The Clockwork's not going to be here for a while either.
Tanner?
Oh, Bushwhack?
Yeah, there he did the trick.
Kadaro,
he did the trick.
Careful here. He's got himself an Arcane Rune. He's ready to go with the Blink Dagger. I'm not sure if they've yet scouted that either on EU Rejects. But
Tanner showcasing how it's done with a Bushwhack Acorn shot. I think this is...
Whoa.
They got rid of the creep. The TP is now on cooldown. The Puck can't join the fight. They know this.
The song.
Oh, why didn't TP to
what
the
a
outpost?
song. Oh, Enigma's he's in Kadaro.
There's a black hole. He's ready.
No, he missed.
Can he cancel this? Where's J4? He didn't get him! And now they can go and kill the Viper. Viper with a BKB saves himself a Mystic Flare, but the Scotty's still slowing him down. That's going to be Jesse dying. Kidara will die for this, however. As he snares, starts to kill the Dragon at FA. He had a lot of sword. Finally, the hookshot comes off. He's been silenced, though. No cogs to push Shippy away. He's fighting against the illusions. Puck from behind. Gets the Zeus. Adds. Just wants to get away from the TB. He doesn't want to die here. He's holding his own because of the help of the Naga Siren, but finally getting killed off by his TB. And Chad cannot fight Otakar alone. Even with the help from Tanner, he might just die here. That's going to be his first life wasted.
Okay, double buyback now.
There's Ads buying back.
There is an overclock and a hookshot ready soon. They still might be able to turn this, actually. It's not free. Otakar, he's going to do... Oh, no, what a pause. No, not like this.
Yes, I was lagging too, to be honest, so I understand.
All right, well, you're over in Europe, so you would understand that a little bit more. Game froze on Sky. Fair enough. Supreme is scouted here. He's going to be able to blink away. Otakar, he is in the waning seconds here of this metamorphosis. He's got, like, what, a quarter duration left?
Mate.
It's about...
Ads has Nimbus, though. I think they can just kill Shibe with Nimbus, right? Thunder God's Wrath, not ready
J4
yet.
can also cancel with Rocket Flare. He's going to have double hookshot ready in a second as well. This would be terrible for Supreme. In fact, Supreme, he's going to make the jump first. That means they're isolating the Naga Siren. Shed is dying to the 1v1 to Otakar. Down he goes on his second life. He's going to buy back for a third life now as ITB still winning here. Otakar is going to get a dieback now onto the Clockwork as Ads dying underneath his tier 2 tower will live. As finally ITB will relent this insane Roche fight.
Yes. Sorry, I should have been clear. When I said they have to fight this, when I said they have to fight this, I meant ITB, not EU Rejects. And to be honest, though I think that pause was entirely... Okay. I think that pause was entirely legal. I'm sure the game froze. It did allow the DK to avoid the Nimbus by blinking. I don't know if you saw that. Like, Nimbus was about to come out, and because of the pause, DK was able to blink immediately because he knew about the Nimbus happening. Right? Which... Unfortunate.
Yep.
I don't think it was ITB's fault.
Yep. There it is. All good. No problems being exchanged.
Or intention. Intention is the goal. Yeah.
No, nothing too crazy here in the alt chat. We've had spicier alt chats for sure in NA Div 2, so no, not to,
come to NA Div 2.
Not to worry. Yeah, we got Gremlo, man. That guy's crazy. He says whatever.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Gremlo decided to copy someone else's salt because he couldn't come up with it himself.
He was upset. And then he was out-goofed. No one out-goofs the goofer.
Yeah, yep. It's because you gotta eat more cat litter. Butterfly is gonna be the choice for Naga. We talked about this earlier for TB, but much like Naga does not like buying MKB, TB doesn't either. He is one of the better illusion buyers for it, though. Certainly better than PL or Naga. So he will eventually just have to buy it anyway. Satanic also came in clutch there, by the way. Naga doesn't have any ways to control him anymore because there's 3 dispels. So Ensnare and Bloodthorn both can get dispelled without even committing BKB. And here we're seeing a big difference for ITB in these fights. Let's see if they can catch Tanner as well.
Seems like that'll be trivial for them, and he does block this smoke gank. Not bad. Supreme, though, he does catch a whiff of this Viper in the area thanks to the high ground ward, which is about to expire. ITB getting ready to, well, setting up to potentially close out the game, given that there were key buybacks committed here for EU Rejects. A kill onto like a Naga Siren here without, you know, the rest of your team dying is very likely the game at this stage. I just want to make sure that Supreme's not going to jump anyone before we do cut to replays of that. Actually, a clutch black hole, I would say there. It wasn't perfect,
yes,
but it did.
It was good. It was good.
It ended up being enough, exactly, right? And we can see that here. Doesn't pull in the Naga Siren, but make sure that she goes nowhere in the waning seconds of her song. And that was huge. I think we're going to have to cut away. Yeah, Supreme is going to be able to find a target here. It's Jesse. He's got BKB TP at the ready.
Oh, Jesse.
And he's going to BKB and...
Oh, the doubting there. The walking around actually kind of screwed him. He didn't just TP.
Yeah, Puck's got the talent, so actually couldn't have TP'd away.
Oh, okay.
My bad. I should have checked that.
Fair enough.
I should have checked that. TB also off that kill also hits 25. He's going to take the Sunder cooldown. 6-second cooldown here now on Sunder, costing 50 mana. No way to burn his mana either. So you just got to make sure that he's got no targets. That's going to be the name of the game here for EU Rejects. A bit of a hard proposition when Naga Siren makes her own illusions and also has no magic immunity of her own.
Yeah, it's a tough one. To talk about Sunder. And in general, these teamfights are becoming tougher and tougher. That Dream Coil talent is massive for Puck's teamfight as well this game. Viper's not very useful in the late game teamfights, of course. The Zeus is really just damage. You're like really missing control for EU rejects. However well J4 has been playing, all his control has to be used on one hero, right, essentially. And they have to burst him down in the process.
Very true.
So it's up to Tanner's incredible bushwhacks and J4 getting a great hookshot plus.
And this is going to be rather difficult to actually take advantage of, right? With the exception of Supreme, who does commit buyback in that rush fight, all the other cores, and in fact Enigma even, have buyback for ITB. So even if you do manage to pick up one of those targets, these fights are not, you know, they're not that fast. They're actually quite long fights because of the nature of the heroes that are battling. They're hunting for Supreme. A dieback here would be, ooh, punishing as there goes J4. He does nick him, I believe. Oh, that was Supreme actually who nicked him with the Stormcrafter. Pardon me. So I thought J4 was going to make the jump, and in fact, with Strength Blink, Supreme's on the way in. He could commit the Dream Coil here, and he will. Still, though, the rest of... Oh, that's ITB closing the ranks. Pardon me. J4 is going to die as EU Rejects will abandon the Clockwork. Buyback.
That kill... No, it doesn't have it,
No,
right?
doesn't have it.
Yeah, so that kill matters a fair amount. He's got a clutch... He's an important player to cancel that black hole, like we mentioned earlier. And honestly, he's just part of your team fight. Like, you could just kind of need that. You have 3 cores, which is fine, but they all deal damage, and nobody brings any sort of catch, except for Naga. But TV got rid of that by buying the Satanic and the Manta stuff.
And that's not always what you think. You don't always think about Clockwork for his team fight, but you're completely right here.
No,
like with Overclock, like that's what 4 seconds of continuous lockdown. It's unbelievable through BKB. Like BKB max duration is 5 seconds, so. Yeah, it's significant. He's pretty big. Sorry, 6 seconds, pardon me. So he locks you down through 2/3 duration of your BKB. Like, what do you do? Oh, wow. Supreme.
Oh, they almost killed Tanner.
He might get him.
Tanner might just be the most important hero. There we go. That's a big source of your team fight. Zeus also broke the coil, but they rooted the Enigma, so he can't block coil properly. And thanks to the song, they can't get that much closer. However, they did force a couple of BKBs here for ITB.
They did.
Could they fight without them?
Notably, Oedicur's.
I mean, Cock is back.
Yeah, and that's what makes it scary here, because now not only are you getting double hookshotted, you could get double cogs as well, and that really puts you so far from your team. Double cogs is really hard to get right. I've seen it maybe once or twice, but I think Clockwork is fast enough to get that done, yeah.
Yeah, if they hadn't killed Tanner there, though, that would have been a chase immediately, but because he's such a big source of their catch, right? That changed completely. And I like that they acknowledge this as well. Like, they just know the team fight is so concentrated on the supports that killing them is worth committing Dream Coils, is worth committing BKBs, more so than it is to, say, kill the Viper, who, yeah, I mean, Jesse's good. It's good to kill her. He's still a core. But at the end of the day, the Viper only provides a little bit more damage. So killing him or Zeus or whatever is the same thing. Whereas getting rid of the stuns.
I'm also a little bit shocked that right now Supreme has Dagon 5 in the quick buy over upgrading Revenant's Brooch. I actually think this item's pretty legit now. Especially for like a puck.
Especially against Naga.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It got significant buffs, hence why I opened the shop and hovered it, in case you haven't seen it. They're pretty... Oh, hold on, they might just kill Supreme.
They caught him this time. First caught, and they got him with the Bloodthorn. He has no BKB
Absolutely perfect. Yep, that was just perfection there from J4. He does it a second time, and now he's going to have a couple seconds to celebrate, as he does have to cool off after the overclock. But that's huge, right? No buyback here on the puck. Again, did buy back around the same time as everyone else. Slightly before, actually. Supreme has buyback now, like quite literally right this second. Tanner is going to be punished for cutting the mid-wave, or if they can catch him, that is, and they won't commit, especially with TP's incoming and ITB not having any vision on cores. They are going to be scattered to the wind. Puck conserving the buyback at the moment, but it is ready.
And because Puck is so mobile, usually here you'd be like, oh, they can force the buyback. If you overcommit at forcing this buyback, Puck just like TP's in and punishes you. Or instead, they find Jesse, who's solo. He has BKB, uses it before the tear away, but Jesse can still be in trouble with the reinforcement, trying to force him out of their base, so Puck can't come join them in time. But Jesse's already dead, and Kidaro, even frontlines here. Jesse's forced his buyback here. We see a black hole for illusions.
All right.
But there's no real Naga among them. And the black hole gets cancelled. The hookshot now used by the Clockwork. No,
that's the Puck buyback.
He's been silenced. Puck did buy back, and now it's everyone's... They need to retreat, but Chessie, unfortunately, is a bit too late. Songless Siren will help him do this. But TP's on cooldown. Chessie has nowhere to go. He's going to have to go to the grave.
Down he goes. There's a noble effort there by Shat to save him, but really, as soon as he TP's into the fight, he's committed after that buyback there. Clock's not going to go for the buyback himself. Enigma is going to conserve his as well. Unfortunately, doesn't catch any real heroes there with that black hole. But he does kind of bait in the rest of EU rejects for what ultimately doesn't look like that great of a fight for them, all things considered. To die back there for their offlaner. Yes, you did get buyback out from the puck. Well, unfortunately, at least for EU Rejects, Roche is not respawned quite yet. We are in the window now. It's a bit of a longer Roche by the looks of things, about 2 minutes long, perhaps a bit longer, 2:15, which will be beneficial here, I would say, for EU Rejects. They only bought back here on their offlaner. Everyone else has it, with exception of the Clockwork, who also bought back there. So a big advantage, I would say, for EU Rejects for this upcoming Roche fight. We can expect that, I would say, to be the next biggest point of contention. And in fact, Davo, there will not be a black hole ready in time for that next Roche to spawn.
That's a good point. I guess to me that was also part of their plan, like forcing the puck buyback. Like I mentioned, they know Viper is a bit more sacrificial, so maybe they were willing to waste that buyback as long as Puck used his. And you know that the enemy team can't push because you have great deep push anyway, right? Your tier 2 tower was still alive in the mid lane, so it's not like they had the easiest options. They went for Shibe. Lotus Orb, though, returns this. Shad is forced to dispel it. Occurs nearby. We have Terror Wave available. But neither team seems to want to fight. There's a Terror Wave just in case EU Rejects had any weird ideas.
He got caught by a Bushwhack. He will make it out, though.
No, he got caught by the minor Bushwhack from the
yes,
shark.
Thank you. Good point.
That's why it didn't last long.
Shed, by the way, has his 25 talent minus 10-second mirror image cooldown, which does give himself 9 seconds of overlapping mirror images, which is why there's so many illusions going on, hence the confusion of the Enigma. It happened. I don't think he was ready for that 25 talent.
Yeah, that's
so
why.
He was probably like, there has to be a real Naga in here. She manted and used mirror image.
What? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6?
Yeah, unfortunately, now he knows, right? So that'll work at least the once. ITB are hoping here. But Shad is going to be... I mean, that's huge for him, right? Because this new Riptide is now every 6 attack-based, and because she has now even more illusions to play with, you can expect this to proc even more. So this talent does a lot more than just spawn illusions, right? It actually really increases her DPS.
Of course. Yep. And then now as she gets to more levels, she actually has some really good talents as well to go for another side. The Riptide hits and the Riptide armor actually matter a fair amount in this late game. So, unlike TV, where I would say that except for the Metamorphosis duration, it's talented just fine.
And now, like, you're actually triggering and proccing Riptide even more, right? So, yeah, it's huge. Puck, by the way, Supreme did not go for Dagons, which I'm very happy to see. Instead, the Aeon Disc, which is still a perfectly fine item. 7 seconds for its first cooldown here as both teams begin to spar over Roche. Black Hole is ready. It's no refresher here for the Enigma. He's queued up instead the Octarine Core. His BKB duration is now minimum 6 seconds. Any other big items that we're missing here? Any other big purchases that you can see, Avo?
No, we're seeing Zeus ads also going for his own refresher, so I guess going for it, still doesn't have it.
Wink on the TB now on the way. He's got his own refresher here.
No.
He is very rich.
Who, TB? Yeah. Oh, yeah, he does. Okay, so second BKB, second Terror Wave and Metamorphosis. Pretty big, pretty big.
Second Satanic.
Puck. That top lane, J4 is looking for him. Can he guess?
Hookshot with?
They guessed correctly with the Nimbus. They need a second hookshot to hit, but J4 realizes the overclock will stun him. He actually could be in trouble himself. No, they're not chasing after him, right?
Oh, they are. Thinking about it.
They want to punish this.
Smoked up, Shibe. He's going to close the gap. There's going to be another Mystic Flare. Is that enough damage here in the late game? J4 living by the skin of his teeth. Terror Wave is going to save Kadaro here as well as it forces back the rest of EU Rejects. It caught Shad, and now Shad finds himself in the side shop, at least where it used to be for now. It seems like it's going to be Shad's grave as they do cancel the black hole, but 5 heroes there surrounding Shad will be able to tear right through him, and Tanner is going to be left. No one there to pick him up from high school. He is going to be back into the fountain.
No buyback. He's back to prove. He's staying in high school overnight. The teachers are pitying him. They can't believe Tanner's still there. He has no buyback, so neither does the Clockwork. Clockwork doesn't have it because of time, but Tanner didn't have the gold for it. There's a free Roche for them. And here's where the fear interactions come into play. Most fear spells, they send you away to base, right? Like, for example, Savage Roar. But in the case of Terrorblade, the fear will send you away from the Terrorblade himself, which is why Shad walks towards those trees as opposed to towards the base. And that's what allows them to catch.
Yeah, and it's kind of weird, right? I mean, it's a little bit inconsistent because you're completely right, I believe, on the TB. Sorry, not on the TB, yes, obviously, and the Lone Druid. But, like, I think DP as well, she fears you away from herself. Dark Willow fears you to Fountain. It's one of those kind of nuanced abilities that is slightly different despite being called the same thing.
Well, it's like, what's scarier? Ghost Woman or Demon? 100%, right? Wee Fairy?
I would want to run home.
You know.
If I was walking through the woods and I was lost in the woods, and then all of a sudden a fairy came out of nowhere and scared me, I'd run home. I'd follow my breadcrumbs.
Yeah, you'd run home, right? You wouldn't run from the fairy, though. You'd run right past
the fairy. I'd follow my breadcrumbs home, obviously. That's what I would do.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's a witch. I think you're confusing the stories. She also wasn't Irish, I'm pretty sure.
Well, she's
Because the kids weren't made out of potatoes, they were made out of sweets, right? That was the whole point.
geographically ambiguous.
Okay, that was a
accent,
joke.
you know?
That's true, actually. No Dota hero is actually properly.
Sure.
It's like Luna. Is she Scottish? According to Scottish people, she's not.
Let's see here. What's our buyback? Sorry, our net worth looking like? Wow, this puck keeping even net worth, even now surpassing Odeker is actually kind of impressive. Supreme now max level up to 30, so he's got Dream Coil, Rapid Fire.
Okay.
All right.
Do I have a refresher already on the Zeus? Yeah, we do. That's why he did that.
Just for vision.
What if I can trigger the A on disc? No, it's not going to happen.
That's not nearly enough damage.
Puck has... Yeah, with 3.7k HP, I don't know if you kill him anymore. Like, genuinely, if the clock makes these plays, they needed the Naga for sure to be nearby.
Naga needs to be there.
And it's still tough.
Yeah, you might need... Oh, there's no Ag Scepter. I was about to say you could use the Hunter's Boomerang now for that damage amplification because you...
No.
Well, you've got percentage base.
Tanner can barely has enough for buyback. He's just saving for it right now.
Blink now. Pardon me, for Odeker. So that's Boots deleted. He also has Manta Style in the backpack, so he's not going to have that for his first life or to be refreshed. Keep that in mind. One less Dispel. He still has 2, right? Maybe 4, I suppose, if he uses Refresher Orb. So it's not like he's, you know, all of a sudden easily killed, but it could make a difference. And they're going to sneak into the base. I have a little bit of a sneaky move as they are going to destroy the trees. Clockwork breaks the smoke. There's going to be the Terror Wave. Supreme as well breaks the coil, breaking the life of Tanner. They've caught Chess. He's going to BKB up. Still leashed up, though. He cannot actually get back into the fountain. But that's at least a kill to open it up. And J4 as well finished off.
Well, that's going to be really difficult to come back from as they catch the Zeus as well. The help from the Naga, Song on the side to save ads. But you only have damage left, dude. You're your team fighting the support, so you've been killed. What do you do now? Nimbus has been dropped, Meta Toxin as well. And at least you can kill, hope to kill at least the DK. Good Lotus Orb timing plus a Terror Wave will send Naga running home. Now she's running in the wrong direction. They also caught Viper, Black Hole used just to bring Naga back. And it seems like they can cancel this in time, but that doesn't mean that Shad is safe. The TP's a bit too strong. The Satanic gets used, and that might just save him enough to finish off Shad. Odeker will die here, however, losing his meta. And he did refresh a bit earlier, which means they could punish him now, but Supreme is back with an Ags, and he's going to cut down Ads. Ads is dead. He does have a second life, though, thanks to that buyback. The puck wants more blood. He's looking for Viper, specifically Chessie. Will be making sure he survives thanks to a lucky Force F there, or Hurricane Pike.
It's only one lane of barracks so far. Clock has buyback now, as does Hoodwink here. We filtered by status. Hoodwink's not going to buy back on 1 second, of course. Not sure if Clock has a choice. Okay, the Fortify buys them enough time. That might, it's not going to quite clear the way, but Zeus can do that easily, especially with his 25 talent. He has taken this arc lightning damage, so that does massive work here, especially with how spammable it is. 1.6 second cooldown now with the Timeless Relic, increasing his damage. He's also got Static Field Shard, which is why he's doing so much damage to these tanky heroes. Good Bushwhack. There's no Aegis anymore. Odeker finds himself falling fast. There's going to be hookshot number 1, but the silence immediately. Is that enough to save Odeker? It is, because he gets off the Sunder full HP thanks to J4 delivering himself as the Blood Bag. And now Supreme cutting the backliners. That's a dieback on the Zeus. Shebe trying to save himself here. And so far will be kept alive, but Supreme going back in to finish the job. A great Bushwhack, though, might just kill off Supreme. He gets off at the very least. Yes, he will live. He does get off the phase shift, and he's going to keep himself alive. Only the Clockwork here to try and finish him off, but can't get the job done. And Shad will throw in the towel. It's going to be a victory for ITB. They do force themselves yet again for the 3rd time in their season into game number 3.